This recording is going to provide an overview of the features and options available to an ESS user with the standard ESS user role. So it's going to walk us through the key functionalities, demonstrating how the standard user can interact with the application, perform necessary tasks such as creating leave requests. So what you're seeing right here is our ESS login page. And before we actually log in, let's take a look at some of these options down below here. If your district would prefer you self-register for your ESS user account, you'll be required when you click on that link to create an ESS username, enter your USPS employee ID number, and also enter a valid email address that matches an email address on your USPS employee record. Further information on how to self-register, we have a step-by-step, is located in our ESS user manual. If you forgot your username, you can click on the Forgot Username link and an email will be sent to the email address provided containing the ESS username that is associated with this email address. So once you enter in the email address here, it shoots an email to you and includes your ESS username in it. If you've forgotten your password or you're required to create a new password, you can click on the Forgot Password option and you'll be required to enter in your ESS username and it will send an email to the address associated with the ESS username. And then it's going to step you through how to reset your password for ESS. So once you're logged in, every ESS user is granted the user role by default. So you will see menu options available on the left-hand side here. And depending on what your district has configured or what the district has turned on in the ESS application, some of these menu options may not be available to you. And I'll make note of those as we go along. This is called the home screen. And off to the left here, if configured, you will see an announcement board here, and the announcement board manager will be in charge of posting district-wide announcements that will then appear in this area of the home screen. So if I wanted to see more information about a posting about holiday break, I can click on it and it will provide the details of that announcement. Off to the right are any custom links. And what this means is that there is a user that has the custom link manager role, and they maintain the websites that are displayed in the custom link area. So one other thing I want to show you before we go through the rest of the menu options is down here where your name is listed. If you click on the drop down, there's a profile option. And this is going to include specific information about your account. So the first four fields you see up here are being pulled from your existing ESS user count and cannot be edited in any way. You may enter a phone number in here. Whatever shaded gray are the things that are editable. So if I enter in a phone number here, what happens is when I create my leave request, it will populate the leave request with whatever phone number is entered in here. These three checkboxes here, the first one, dark mode, will allow you to change the background color. So right now it's in a light or a white background. If you would prefer this rather be a dark background, you can check this box. If you want to opt out of emails here, so what happens is if every time it goes through the workflow process, you're going to receive an email regarding the action that was taken during that workflow process. If you do not wish to receive those emails, what you can do is check whether it's a leave request email or a timesheet email. You can select this box to opt out of them. You can also enter a default starting ending time preference for your leave requests. So every time you create a new leave request, it will autofill the start and ending times with your defaults that are set in here. So obviously you can overwrite the times when you're creating your leave request. For example, if I just have a half day, I can change it on my leave request and change this to noon. So I can just create a leave request for a half day. Another useful part of the user profile are the roles that have been assigned to you. So as you can see, Susan just has the user role. And then you also have another option here in case you need to reset your password if need be. Okay, we're going to move on to the employee profile. And this displays your biographical data that's pulled from USPS. So the details are broken into separate tabs for easier viewing. The district can configure what fields are going to show in your employee profile. So if, and also if the create new data change request is configured, it will be displayed in the upper right corner of the screen. So if any personal information displayed in your employee profile is incorrect, you may click on the create new data change request, and the employee profile screen will be editable, allowing you to update any of the fields shaded gray. For example, if you need to change the last name. So once you have completed your changes, you're going to click on Submit Data Change Request, and the changes will then be forwarded to a staff member with the Data Change Manager role. And then from there, they will either approve or reject the requested changes. And if approved, your changes will then be posted to USPS, to the employee record and payroll. And so then after that, the next time you log in into ESS, you will see those updated changes in your employee profile record. Under position details, this is automatically pulling position data from payroll and also provides an abbreviated view of the employee's contract information right here. So the district, again, can configure what fields will be displayed in your position details record. The position details displayed, you'll notice for Susan, she has two positions, one for a cook and one for an aide. So if the positions that are displayed depend on how the job status is configured in ESS. So for example, if both active and inactive jobs are configured for your district, those active and inactive jobs will be displayed in your position details. If only active jobs are configured in ESS, then only your active job would be displayed in your position detail record. You also can see, when you have multiple positions included in your positions detail, you can click on the arrow key here and it will toggle on and off to show you the details or hide the details of that position. Underneath the view print payslips and really view print W-2s, they both look the same. Obviously, one shows your payslips and one shows your W-2s. But again, these are read-only grids as well. And in here, if I go to my print payslips, what this is going to do is either allow me to filter, so I can put in a specific pay date or a check number, or I can just go right in here and either download a payslip into a PDF format, or I can view it by just viewing it on the screen. So you have different ways of either downloading it or viewing it. The W-2 is set up in the same format. Leave information contains your accumulated and used leave for each eligible leave type that is pulled from USPS. So this is a view-only grid as well. And so it has three tabs. The first tab is the leave balances. So it's showing those eligible leave types and their beginning balances, as well as, what the max would be on them, if it's an hourly or daily, the accruals, and the very last column shows what your current balance is on each of those. The absences is, again, pulling your absences from USPS. And just note that it will exclude any ESS leave requests that have not been posted to USPS yet. These are things coming strictly from USPS. So if you have an outstanding leave request that hasn't been approved yet, it will not show in here, obviously, because it hasn't been exported out of ESS and posted into USPS. Once it is, then it's going to be reflected as an absence in here. And then your accumulations tab is going to show you your accumulations for each of your eligible leave types. Your leave request information. If leave requests are configured, so the district has to configure this first, and if it is configured, then you're able to create and view leave requests in ESS. So I'm going to click on the create leave request option here. So this is going to allow me to create a leave request for a USPS position that is eligible for leave, whether it's sick, personal, vacation, but it'll also allow me to create a leave request for other available leave types. If the district has configured leave requests be created for professional leave or jury duty, you'll be able to do that as well. So under position, if you have multiple positions, it will display the first active position by default. So I'm just going to click on the drop down here. So however, you have the ability to select a different position from the drop down depending on the job status that's configured by the district. For example, if the district only has active jobs configured, then you will only be able to see active positions from the drop down. If they have both active and inactive jobs configured in ESS, then you're going to see positions with both active and inactive jobs. If your position is eligible for sick, vacation, or personal leave, once one of those leave types is selected, well, let me select sick here, it is going to display the leave balance information on here and also include any ongoing leave requests. Ongoing leave requests includes initiated and approved, so those will be taken into consideration in the balance. Also, if some of your leave types are set up and configured to have a subcategory to require a subcategory, for example, sick requires a subcategory, and those subcategories have been set up by the leave manager already in the application. All you need to do then is go in, select that specific one. So I'm just going to select medical appointment. And then the next thing is the reason for the request. So the district may configure that this field be required depending on the leave type. So they may have it set up that for sick leaves, you have to specify a reason. And so I'm just going to go ahead, put that in. And then from here, the next thing is your start and ending leave dates and times. So if you prefer the leave time to always default to the set work schedule, refer to that user profile area to set your default start and ending work time. Obviously, you can always overwrite these fields that are set by default. And also, if you enter in a date, let's say you were sick yesterday and you come back to work today and you need to fill out your leave request form, you can enter a date in the past. You will receive a warning message that the date exists in the past, but you can move right on and create the request. And so I'm going to go ahead and pick on a date in the future, actually. I have a dentist appointment for the 6th, and it's for a half day from 8 a.m. And you notice this was listed in my profile, the default of 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., but I'm just going to overwrite this one, just say till noon, and it's already got a half day, so I'm set there. If I needed to increase the total times requested, I can certainly do that by using the plus sign and then use the minus sign to decrease it. The total times requested does tell you that the length of absence, and for this district, it's configured to be set by a day, and it has a minimum value of a half day. So if it was hours, then the length of absence would show must be by hours here. Optionally, you can enter a phone number, or if you have it in your profile record, it will automatically get loaded into your leave request. Any other additional comments? Well, it'll allow you to go ahead and enter those in case there are certain things you want your approver or anyone else that can see your leave request to have information for. If your district has ESS configured to use substitute calling within the application, you can either manually select substitute needed, or the district can configure substitute needed to be checked automatically for specific leave types. If checked, once your leave request is submitted, the staff member with the sub-coordinator role will be notified via email about the sub-call request and will then update your leave request with the sub's information, and it's going to mark it as substitute scheduled on your request. And you're going to be able to see that information when you view the leave request. If you have any additional comments you want the substitute, or the person that approving, or this sub-coordinator to see, you can enter that information in the substitute comments area. Also, you'll notice down here that you have the supervisor name and email of the person that's going to be approving your leave request. And if required for your leave request, you need to attach supporting document, you can upload the file here and it will attach it to your leave request. So if I look over everything, got my position correct, I have the leave type, I have a medical appointment, for a dental appointment, and I've got beginning date and the beginning and ending date and time, the total time requested, which is a half day. I don't need a sub for this, so I'm going to leave that unchecked, and I don't have any additional attachments I want to put on here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on my leave request. And once I click on that, you will receive a notification in the upper right corner stating that the request was recreated, and it will then follow your approval workflow. If you're set up to receive emails, an email will be sent to you that your request has been submitted, and your approver will receive an email as well requesting their approval. So on the screen, you'll notice now that the leave type has been cleared out, and the reason and the total time requested has been cleared out as well, and it's highlighted red. This basically just indicates that you have completed the leave request and you're ready to enter your next leave request if desired. Now, if you want to review any existing leave requests you have created, you can click on the My Leave Request option, and you can use the filter row here to filter and view the desired leave request. You can also use the More button over here to add or remove any columns from the grid in order to make it more customized for you. And then below here, then you'll see all the different options that are available. So if I wanted to view an existing leave request, I'm going to go ahead and pick on one here. I'm going to pick on the one that I just created for January 6th. So I'm going to go ahead and click on View. And you'll notice that it gives us 3 tabs here. So the first tab is the leave request details. And this is going to basically include the information that I just entered on that leave request. The leave request, and you'll notice again, I did it for January 6th from 8 until noon for a half day. The leave request daily details is showing me, it's going to display the weeks inclusive of my leave request beginning and ending dates, as well as the start and ending time of the request and the amount of the leave request. So I said January 6th, there is my half day from 8 until 12. Also, you'll notice that the leave request approval trail, when I click on this, it's going to track the approval activity on the leave request from the originator to the final approver. The note column on the grid may provide helpful information as well as to what took place during the approval process. So for this one, we have a helpful note here to tell us that this leave request is tied to the cafeteria workflow group chain. So it tells me when Susan submitted it and the timestamp of November 26th. I'm going to go ahead and close out of that. So looking at this grid, you're also going to see some other options here. We did the view, and depending on the status of the leave request, there will also be other options. So you can edit your leave request as long as the status, the approval status, is either initiated or rejected. If edited, if I go back in and edit this, and let's say I change this to, let's say the 7th, and I leave everything else the same. So it shows it automatically updated the end leave. If I look at the leave request daily details, it also updated it. And here as well, I've got 1/7. Like I said, I'm not going to change. I'm going to leave my time 8 to noon, and it's for a half day. My leave request daily details and my leave request approval trail, still nothing's changed yet. Once I click on save then and make those changes, if I go back, I notice now that it changed from the 6th to the 7th. If I go in and view this, then and I go over to the leave request approval trail, this is what happened. So it basically, it first showed me that I originally submitted it, and there's the timestamp. And then it tells me that the leave request was edited. This is within this leave request approval trail. So it's letting me know that I went in and edited it. And when I edit, the action is it canceled it, but then it resubmitted it exactly at the same time. So it's just basically, resubmitting it to that request approval trail is what it's doing. Looking at some of these other options here. So like I said, you can edit your leave request as long as the request status is initiated or rejected. So obviously if an approver rejected your leave request because the date was wrong or the request time was wrong, then you can go in and edit it and then resubmit for approval. Also, once that request has been through the entire workflow approval, then the status of the leave request is going to change from initiated to approved. So once this initiated leave request goes through and gets approved through all my approvers, until it gets to that final approver and approves it, it won't change the status until then, until that final approver approves the leave request. And like I said, at that time, it'll change it from initiated to approved. And you'll notice too, if I filter on just approved, once a leave request has been fully approved, you'll notice that you can no longer edit it. Okay. Another option underneath here is the cancellation. So canceled and exported, and I just want to make a side note here, any canceled or exported leave requests can't be edited either. So I know I did approve, but if I also did selected canceled, you'll notice I can't edit them. Or if I also selected exported, again, I'm not able to edit them. I'll go ahead and clear that. You'll also notice that cancel is available for some of these. You can only cancel leave request as long as the status is initiated or approved. Both the originator and approvers will receive an email notifying that the leave request has been canceled. So that's nice that both of them know in case that leave request has been canceled, that they both get notified. The next thing I want to talk about is your leave calendar. So basically, it is your leave requests, your My Leave requests in a calendar format. So it's just going to allow you to view your requests via a calendar. You can click on one of these leave requests to view the full details. So here is a sick leave request I have for the 5th. If I want to see more information about it, it'll take me into what I was just into, viewing a leave request. So I can go in and view the details, view the daily details, or view the approval trail. Where is my leave request at? Who approved it? I can look that up through this. Also in here, you'll notice that there are different colors, and it depends on where it's at in the workflow status. So blue signifies that it's initiated or in progress. The green signifies that the leave request has been fully approved. Red signifies that it's been rejected or canceled. The like softer black color signifies that that leave request has been exported from ESS. And then the solid black, it just denotes a blackout date. So just looking up at our menu above here in the leave calendars, you can see that a standard user can create a new leave request from the leave calendar. You can apply filters. So if I click on filters here, this will allow me to either filter by one of my positions or filter by a leave request type. So if I wanted to filter on just vacation leave, I can go ahead and select vacation leave. I'll go ahead and do that. And then I apply the filters, and all I'm going to see on my calendar is just the vacation leave type requests. I can go back to filters and clear the filters to bring everything back in. Also, I can print a calendar. This allows me to print a calendar based on the view that I have selected. So we do have more information about the leave calendar, about the printing of leave calendars, and that is found in our leave calendar chapter in the ESS manual. You'll also notice that it'll allow you to move from one view to the next. So if I want to move from 1 month to the next month and I'm on the monthly calendar, it'll allow me to do that using these arrows. I can also click on today and it'll take me back to the current month based on my view. And then obviously here are all my different views in the calendars. So right now, like I said, the default is monthly. If I want a monthly list, it's going to look a little bit different. It's listing everything by month instead of in a calendar format. If I want to do a weekly calendar, I can do that. So it just depends on which one will work best for you. And the timesheets option here is for those users that where first timesheets was configured for the district, they're using timesheets, and that the user is eligible to create a timesheet. So that will be a different demo that we will discuss when we go into timesheets in more detail. And I believe the only other option we have here is the help option. And this basically just tells you, what version we're currently on in ESS, and also a link to our documentation. So if I click on this, it'll take me to the employee self-service user manual, where a lot of this information I just went over is provided in more detail. So this wraps up the menu options available for the standard users. If you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to contact your ITC for further assistance. Thank you.